Hello everyone, it's me, Juan Gamer from the video. Today, we're back with a MatPat Appreciation Marathon. And this time, well, as you may already know, I'm not sure if many people do know about this, but MatPat kind of changed the title of this one. Originally it was basically, he brought back Game Labs, but now he's saying, shooting tanks with the boys. So, regardless, we're about to see some tank action right now. So, yeah, I think that's all I need to say. Let's go watch the video.
You know, game theory really got its start with my love of Mythbusters. I wanted to create a show where I could put to the test all of the things that I was seeing in video games here in real life. And I got to do that a couple years into the history of the show with projects like Game Lab, with projects like Reality Check. And we did them, and they were awesome, but man, was it a lot of work. And it was super expensive, right? So we decided to put it off to the side and just, hey, that was a fun little period in the channel's history. But now here we are, in the middle of my final 10 episodes on the channel, and I'm like, you know what? Let's take a moment to bring it back. So we decided to partner with World of Tanks and bring it back to where it really all began, to the first ever episode of that format. We are here in the middle of Texas, Uvalde, Texas to be specific.
What?
LiveTanks.com, where today we're going to test one major question. Can playing a video game actually make a bunch of noobs into professional tank drivers? And even more importantly, can they then successfully fire the gun? So for one final time, guys, welcome to Reality Check!
Oh no, this man's actually going to drive a tank. Oh god.
At this time, you're clear to fire. 3, 2, 1.
Oh no.
Now, to put this...
Oh god, they're actually doing this. They're going to shoot tanks. Oh no. Actually, the fact that he showed that FNAF, that reality check of FNAF, or rather Candies, that's actually my favorite video of Game Labs. I don't know. I feel like for the MatPat Appreciation Run, what do you guys think? Do you think I should? I think I might. I might. I'll probably do a reaction video reacting to, you know, the Five Nights at Freddy's live action one, because I genuinely wanted to be there. How I wish I could have been there. I did go to that festival, but I wasn't able to record nothing. Sad times. Anyways.
Whole thing to the test, I'm gonna need a little bit of help. That's why I reached out and found myself the team of experts that can't be replaced. Bring them on in!
Goomba! Lee. Ryder. And Drake.
Oh, you thought I meant experts in driving tanks? No, I need experts in theorizing. Come on in, guys. Hey,
let's go.
I see you literally.
The team is back together.
However, it's been 6 years.
Oh, no,
How's it going, buddy?
Oh, I'm so little.
Long time no see.
Oh, man. And you live down the street.
How you doing, man?
How are you guys?
I am surviving.
Most importantly, the three of you in the middle. The other two, I get a lot of. GG, congratulations on the new channel.
Dude, it's been a week long of being psyched for that, and then this, and then you, and then all this, and I'm just like, yes!
Meanwhile, Drake, you've evolved from trailer Drake to comic Drake.
Yep, been doing comic Drake for 10 years now, this year. Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right? That's crazy long.
So old.
Starting to gray.
Dang.
Right, yeah, we're getting gray. Yeah, going old.
I've been going gray since before YouTube.
Get a lot of
YouTube just made it worse.
Well, you're all excited?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm super pumped. 100%. Absolutely.
Y'all driving tanks. Who wouldn't be excited?
Never mind, it's fine. I'm not excited at all. This is very boring, the idea of shooting tanks.
Yeah, thanks. So, for the last week, I have asked these guys to train up in World of Tanks. They've done it, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yes, Professor. Well, no one can be as excited as Goomba is. Like, that dude has been bouncing off the walls all day for this.
Yeah.
My first ever meme was tank, 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 tank. I mean, come on. He's excited. I'm ready.
There are two
You guys are all
different
set? You feeling
sides.
good about your World of Tanks training?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So they're all warmed up. I'm warmed up. Let's get you warmed up about World of Tanks. Let's go, guys. Woo!
All right, let's do it.
And honestly, I can think of no better person to catch you up on the brief history of World of Tanks than Foot of a Ferret himself, former host of A Brief History here on the channel, Ryder.
Thanks, Matt. So, while you might know it from its ads and its
This is
sponsorships
the
here on
comeback
YouTube in
of all
recent years,
things.
World of Tanks has
Brings a
actually
tear to
been
my
around
eye.
since 2010. Developed for the PC by Wargaming.
It's a very apt name for a development studio that focuses on tanks.
Don't interrupt me. World of Tanks puts you in command of over 800 different tanks from across the last 100 years and places you into tactical battles from real historical locations. You're climbing steep hills, sneaking through forests, and tearing across deserts, all in your trusty tank boys. And since then, World of Tanks has grown into a massive free cross-platform experience.
Which, by the way, you can go and download today using the link in the description, as well as the code GAMETHEORY.
In
All right.
short, World of Tanks prides itself on realism of tank combat, and that goes beyond just picking out the right munitions and hiding your weak spots. It's also about your crew. You can't just have a good driver and hope to win. No, you also need a fast weapons loader, precise gunner, technically savvy radio operator, and of course, a strong commander that will lead you to victory. It's a crossover of talent that will ensure that you have the best chance of winning at the end of the day. See what I did there?
Oh, it's so good to have you back, Drake. So, as you can see, World of Tanks isn't just about fulfilling the fantasy of driving big vehicles and blowing stuff up, though that is really cool. It's a tactical experience, all about understanding your crewmates and how these giant vehicles work. Which
All right.
is why the realism of all this is so important. If you don't understand how the vehicles operate, well, it's going to mean disaster for both you and your crew.
Oh,
And
no.
that brings us to why we're here today. You see, I've designed a little bit of an experiment for all of our guests that's going to put a lot of things to the test.
Oh,
But
no.
to fully break it down, I'm going to toss it off to Lee, our breakdown expert. Lee!
I got this, Matt. We're all going to be split up into 3 teams of 2. We've got Team Comics with Drake and myself, Team History with Ryder and Goomba, and Team Science with Austin and Matt. Over the past week or so, each pair of us has been playing a different version of World of Tanks. Team Comics is on PC, Team Science has been playing the console version, and then you've got Team History, who have spent the last week playing the console version, but with a twist. Both Xbox and PlayStation offer a service called Remote Play, where so long as you have an internet connection, you can connect to your console remotely and play on your phone or tablet. And
Okay.
because we wanted a wider variety, we got them to play exclusively using their phones to see whether they could keep up with the likes of mainstream consoles or the obviously superior PC.
And so
Dang.
now that everyone's played for 20 hours, we're throwing them into tanks and forcing them to go head-to-head in 2 separate competitions. The first is a driving test, where one member from each team is going to drive the tank through a carefully designed obstacle course. The
Okay.
second round will happen at the shooting range, where each team will be responsible for aiming and firing at a set of targets. Highest accuracy wins. Now, I know this might seem like a bit of a wild experiment. There's no way that playing a video game can train someone to drive 25 tons of pure military power.
No, I
right?
wish, but
that's
no.
what you might think, but there's actually some interesting science behind it.
Really?
Someone say science! Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But Matt is right. The science here is fascinating. We all know what dopamine is, right? It's the happy hormone. When you do something you enjoy, you get a nice hit of dopamine that makes you feel really good. I'm also sure that most of you that have played video games would say that you feel good while playing them, especially if it's a game you really enjoy. However, dopamine is more than just a happiness hormone. It also plays a major role in your ability to learn. In 2001, a study was conducted on rats where one of the rats had their dopamine neurons stimulated while listening to a specific audio tone, and the other group just listened to the tone with no stimulation. They found that the rats with dopamine neurons stimulated had better recall of the tone than their sadder counterparts.
Basically,
Dang.
dopamine helps you learn, which is why you tend to do better in school if you enjoy the subject more, or do better at your job if you actually enjoy your work, because the
Ha.
dopamine that you receive helps to expand your brain chemistry. And all the way back in 1998, they proved that the amount of dopamine you get from playing video games can match that of someone injecting amphetamines directly into your bloodstream. That is a crazy amount of dopamine.
And it doesn't stop there, because in later years it was shown to be the case in humans too. Since then, there has been study after study showing the effects of video games on both your physical and mental skills. Like
Really?
helping to improve attention and spatial awareness in children, and improving hand-eye coordination in the elderly. Heck,
Ah.
video games are now being being used to train surgeons how to operate. And probably
What?
most important for our purposes today, to give soldiers the chance to practice driving and aiming big military vehicles.
What?
If it works for a crew of soldiers, theoretically it should be able to work for a bunch of top-tier gamers like us,
We-
right? Guess we're
Gaming
about
has
to find
truly
out.
ruled the
So
world,
really,
ladies
this
and gentlemen.
isn't just a competition between 6 gamers, it's a test to see how video games can teach us. Can that sweet, sweet dopamine we get from playing games actually prepare us to execute on the real thing? But before we start throwing these guys into tanks, we should probably learn a little bit more about the tanks themselves, which is why we're going to be talking to Tommy from DriveTanks.com. Tommy, thanks for joining us today. Tommy, tell us a little
Yay.
bit about yourself.
I've been working with tanks for right around 5 years. I've been with DriveTanks.com for roughly 3.5 years. And I've been working on military vehicles, say, from all the end of World War I all the way to modern day, or as modern
Wow.
as we can be, as the government allows us to be.
What secret stuff do you have that...
Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. Don't worry about it.
We all play games, we all understand how like first-person shooters and war shooters and this and that work, but actually being able to operate these things in real life and understand how they work is
It's gotta be
fundamentally
scary.
different, right?
Like, I would be I would be
Even down to the basic
overwhelmed in
question,
this
when
place.
we hop into that tank, are we driving it with like a steering wheel? Is it levers? What?
Good question. So it
Now, come on.
So it depends
All right, there we
on
go.
the nation of origin, also the time. So, for instance, like your T-34 and your Sherman, two very famous tanks from World War II, they both drive with what we call tillers or steering sticks. You know, make a left turn, you turn, you pull left. You make a right turn, you pull right.
All right.
But then you have other tanks, like the famous Tiger tank, actually turns with a steering wheel.
We would
Ah.
actually wind up driving the West German Leopard, which used steering wheel and pedals, making it a whole heck of a lot easier.
Yeah.
What is the top speed of a tank?
So it depends on the tank. So the top speed of a tank, the Guinness Book World Records, is actually the Scorpion tank, which tops out right around 55 miles an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, World War II tanks, they weren't going as fast, and the reason why is because you had to shoot accurately. And if you're going, say, 30 miles an hour and your gun barrel's bouncing up and down, you know you can't shoot accurately.
Might
No.
not sound all that fast, but some of us were feeling a bit apprehensive.
Yes.
So, I'm scared.
Okay.
I would be scared too.
Listen, I among all of us know what it is to be a gaming expert. But
All of us, yes, very
when you
gaming.
see it in person,
Yeah.
it all goes out. What
Yeah.
exactly am I going to be expecting in terms of like training?
So for training, so say for modern tank training, you'd go to tank school, which is basically you're taught every aspect of the machine, right? You're taught how to drive, you're taught how to gun. Now in World War II, you would also have tank school. Granted, it was a lot more rushed, right? You know, it'd be right around 2 to 3 months, and then you're basically going out in the field and you're learning as you go.
All right.
And then also in World War II, and you also see this in the movie Fury, where there'd be cases where one of you guys would be injured, and they'd just take a random guy and they'd throw him in.
So
And
that's
now-
basically us today.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
After a week of training, we got this.
Good. Week of playing a video game and like 10 minutes talking to Tommy. We're feeling good?
Ready to go.
Pretty
Okay.
much. Let's
Well,
see
let's
it.
go meet our tank then.
All right.
Also, here, hold it, Ryder.
Yeah.
I do want to call this out while they get prepared. Who am I talking to? You.
Hello.
Talking to you. So, Ryder, just for the people at home.
Yeah.
How many times have you driven a car?
Maybe like 8.
8 total?
That might be generous.
That might be an
Oh,
overestimate.
That might
no.
be generous. And most of it was like 10 years ago when I was getting my license, like 2 years late.
So last year, I taught Ryder how to ride a bike for the first time in his life.
Aw.
I like that I've just skipped the whole driving process and now we're just
Yeah.
gonna throw you in a tank. Life comes at you fast.
Ah.
Okay, here it is. The tank's all revved up. It's time to start the experiment. We're team number 1, Team Science.
We're
Do it.
Comics. 1, 2, 3, catchphrase.
There was also team history, but Ryder was so nervous that he actually forgot to record the intro. Though to be fair, when I got into the tank, I was feeling the same way. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm groping around in the darkness, and there's a wheel, and I think there's a gas pedal. I don't
Oh,
know
boy.
if there's a brake pedal.
Here we
We're
go.
gonna find out together. It actually took me another 3 minutes of groping around in the dark before I found that brake. Anyway, once I had a handle on the pedals, I got over that nervousness very quickly. And
Great.
just like that, we were off.
I'll
It
never-
was so
I'll
loud,
never
we
get
basically
riding a
couldn't
tank
hear
out of my
anything we were
bucket
saying.
list.
That and we were trying desperately not to crash. But this course was full of twists and turns, hills and dips, really showing off what the tank was capable of. Oh, that's so easy and awesome. God, surprising how Woo, it's like a roller coaster going down. Wow. You'd expect a tank to be heavy
so
slow,
jealous.
but in reality, it was light and super nimble. In fact, it was probably one of the smoothest rides I'd ever been on. All the suspension in this thing, coupled with the treads, made it feel like you were floating on a cloud. After surviving a dip into a small river, going up the banks, and getting some pretty good speed, Team Science was wrapped.
Wow.
Yeah, easy every time. Look at that parking job. There you go. Yes. That was awesome. Now, they told us that the course would probably take us about 8 to 15 minutes to complete. What they didn't realize was that we're a super competitive group. I managed to complete the course in 6 minutes and 44 seconds.
Wow.
Even Ryder, despite being cautious and nearly coming off the track several times, he managed to beat that time with a solid 7 minutes and 40 seconds.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, Ryder! Woo! You did it! Let's go, buddy! But of course, every group has that one guy who's got to push it just a little bit further, even further than the experts were expecting.
Oh no.
Let It Rip Drake certainly lived up to the name. I didn't realize that this was possible with a vehicle this heavy, but Drake actually caught air. They were figuratively, and sometimes even literally, flying around the course, coming in with
This
a
is unfair.
scorching time of 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Oh no.
Minutes faster
This
than the
man's
experts
evolving.
predicted any of us would be able to do it in, putting them in a solid
This
first
man is
place.
anomaly.
Let's give them 3 points for that win, leaving Team Science and Team History in 2nd and 3rd place with 2 and 1 point respectively. But despite the competition, when it comes to whether a video game can teach you how to drive a tank, I'd have to say yes. Though to be fair, the system was so easy that if you've ever driven a golf cart, you'd be able to do it too. Just look
Oh
at Ryder.
yeah.
I think we're all winners as far as that round goes.
Yes,
But technically,
more winners than
the official winners are Team Comics.
Thank you. I did all the work. Yes. Yes. Catchphrase. Catchphrase indeed. Congratulations.
Ryder, you have
Yes,
successfully Poke-evolved into driver.
Nice and slow.
And now
Yes.
we move on to shooting the tanks, yes?
Oh dude. No, dude,
So
no.
now it's time for us to see who has the
Fire
best
in the
lead.
hole,
For
no.
safety reasons, we couldn't just hop in and start firing off the tank like you would in World of Tanks. But we did manage to devise a system that would allow us to aim and fire the tanks safely. First, we wouldn't be using explosive shells, as they're much harder to control, much more dangerous, obviously, and also the US government wouldn't let us have them. Can't imagine why, as if I'm not on enough government watch lists at this point. Instead, for the test, we'd be using solid shells, which are exactly what they sound like, shells made out of solid steel. Can I touch it?
Yeah, go ahead. Pick it up.
That's awesome.
Don't touch.
with me?
No, don't touch.
Surging energy costs.
Touch it?
Yeah, go ahead. Pick it up.
Go ahead. Don't do it.
No, I wouldn't. Just in case. CSA. I would love to see you see it.
Gosh, it's so much heavier than expected. Here, try it out.
Oh.
Oh, don't pass it around.
That's a heavy boy.
So it's gonna be hooked up to another case. So we'll put the two inside the tank, and then we'll load them together as one piece. But the projectiles themselves, they will go down range, bury themselves, and we'll probably never see them again.
Just because they're
Okay.
so buried in the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. We would then help load the cannon and direct the crew on how to aim the shot.
2 cranks down, and then 1 crank to the right. 1 crank. All right. Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Once everything was ready and safe, we'd fire the tank using a ripcord from outside, which was meant to protect us from any potential ammo jams or backfires. Finally, what are we aiming at? Can't exactly fire at another expensive tank from the 1900s, can we? No, instead we have ourselves a wall of trucks that just so happen to be sitting in a very familiar location.
I recognize that we're at the Mr. Beast mound of all things.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Following in the footsteps of greatness, clearly.
Yeah.
This right here is where good old Jimmy Beast also fires his tanks. Not all that surprising when it's one of the 2 places in America that you're allowed to fire tanks. In fact, a lot of YouTubers have been in this place recently. Go figure. Any tips that we need to know that those other guys didn't know?
What can you tell us that you can't tell Mr. Beast? Oh no, see, I can't say that.
So
Dang.
we've got ourselves our wall of trucks. Now we'll be ranking each of the shots based on accuracy. 3 points for first place, 2 points for second, and 1 for third. If you miss,
Dang.
you get 0. And with that out of the way,
All right, are you ready?
The pressure is
I'm as
on.
ready as I can.
I've never shot a gun of any kind, of any size before.
Well, this is
so I'm going straight for the big stuff.
Right, it's all downhill from here. How's your aim?
Pretty bad.
Well,
I'm not able to find out when I pull the ripcord. You know, it actually has like a manual crank where you're like, it's not like electronic at all.
We've got to beat Lee and Drake.
What are the points for this? How are we scoring it?
If you hit it, you get 100 points.
I better get 100 points.
Okay.
you
You
better.
get 100 points.
All right,
Oh,
you're clear to load.
Oh gods.
All right.
It's over for you, my
Is everyone
brother.
Good. At this time, you're clear to fire. All right, 3, 2, 1, fire in the hole.
Matt's down. You missed.
That was awesome. That freaking ruled, man. That was awesome.
My like a heart is
I can feel it in my whole body.
It was like a concussive
And it
blast.
smelled like sulfur.
Oh, I inhaled so much
Would
smoke.
do that again.
Well, I think it's these guys.
It was all right.
All right.
All right.
See that?
Listen.
He knifed to the back window.
Yeah,
and
he
went
didn't
right
hit
through.
anything. Yeah. I hit the window. That's hitting the thing.
No, the window didn't do nothing.
Consulted professionals in World of Tanks.
Yeah, okay.
We are gonna hit that truck.
Couple cranks to the left, one up. Yeah, we got
Yeah, you feel good about
It's
your
over.
How it goes down, one to the right.
Team Science is taking the L on this one.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. We beat you once, we beat you
Best
again.
man win.
Oh boy.
All right, at this time, you're clear to fire. All right, 3, 2.
Kaboom!
There you go. Go, let's go.
Did he fall back?
What?
What happened?
You didn't hit anything.
Listen.
You didn't hit anything.
What?
What happened to that great aim?
Oh no.
Listen, we won the race. We have to highlight all the former theorists.
Or we're so awesome that we thread the needle and we're even cooler than them.
That was it.
What? Yes,
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
I think that one.
A
It's
likely
the rubbing
story.
An arrow through an arrow. I think it's even more. We're playing the game of horse.
But it's even cooler because it's a tank.
Yeah. Ryder, what do you got?
Oh my god! I'm so scared to stand next to this thing right now.
I don't think Goomba's scared.
No one's gonna blame you.
Like, I was supposed to come up here with him, but he's already up there.
No, I'm ready, man.
He's with his baby
Are
right
you like
now.
testing the wind? Finger in the air? I'm guiding the barrel right to the I want to go dead center through the passenger door.
Oh,
dead center. All the way
you
behind
better
us.
do it right now. We need to see the kaboom that will make Rico proud.
I think I'm supposed to. I don't want.
We need to see the kaboom that makes Rico shed a tear.
I shake your hand, but I'm too high up, man. I don't know what to say.
GG. Do you have your hearing protection on?
Of course I do. I'm not a complete idiot.
I did the driving and I thought I conquered tanks, but as soon as that first one went off, I was like, no.
Nope.
That knocked me off my feet. All right, at this time, you're clear to fire. 3, 2, 1, fire the hole!
No, come on.
Fire the hole!
Boom. Rico? Ah.
Was that not the best thing ever?
Oh, well, at least they hit. Wait, I forgot. There was no kaboom. Dang.
Insane thing ever.
I would love to see the kaboom, though.
That was
Maybe
by
one
far
day,
the
Rico.
biggest blast
Maybe
that
one
we've
day.
had of any of these.
Nice shot.
Oh, yeah. Goomba definitely
And with
got
that, we
3.
should probably tally up those final scores. This was a competition after all. So I think it's clear to say that Team History won the shooting round, so that's 3 points for them.
Yes.
Comics, on the other hand, barely managed to scrape the frame of the car. So
Dang.
we're putting them in 3rd place with 1 point, which leaves Team Science in 2nd place with 2. I maintain that the shot through the window is a pretty impressive shot, though I can't deny the solid hit that Goomba was able to do on the body of that car, so I'm gonna be happy with the 2. That means that the scores at the end of all of this are tied. 4s across the board for all of us. I guess that's nice. So despite the game's accuracy to crew breakdowns, speed, and mobility, it doesn't seem like it had that much effect on our overall performance. No one gaming platform stood out, and that makes sense when you think about it. Driving a tank is very similar to just driving a car. You have pedals, you have a wheel, you have a big old crank for aiming. Oh, I guess I don't have that in a car, but it's not hard to figure out. So just like driving, it's a very physical activity, which means that getting better is less about mental stimulation and much more about muscle memory. By repeating the same actions over and over again, you activate the same neural pathways repeatedly. Eventually, your brain just gets so used to doing that action, it more or less becomes subconscious. And it's in those moments that you're able
It
to
becomes
react
second
faster
nature.
and push the speed because your body just intuitively understands what it's supposed to be doing. Playing on a phone, a controller, a keyboard, it's not really going to give you that muscle memory to be able to transfer the skill. If
Dang.
anything, your confidence as a car driver, that's the thing that's going to help you.
Okay, I'm.
But here's the thing,
I know it's a
Matt,
bit
very
blurry,
soon
but
That may not be the case.
What do you mean, Gigi?
Well, you see,
I'm sorry. I saw that. I know it's blurry, but I know they did not just not turn on their signal. That has got to be the result of a car crash. I'm sorry. I had to say it. I know it may be blurry, but I'm sorry.
a brand new breed of tank on the horizon. Rather than using all the levers, pedals, and steering wheels that we use today, this guy instead uses a simple Xbox controller. Yeah,
What?
A 35-ton piece of machinery is controlled by this. And if you take a look at the inside, you'll realize there's no windows, just a bunch of cameras and monitors, racer chairs, and headsets. It's literally a military-grade gamer paradise, but what's even more interesting is that it allows for a buildup of that crucial muscle memory. In fact, when prototypes were tested with young
Ain't no
adults
way
from Gen
there's a
Z,
tank
they
being
found
run
that
by an
what would take
Xbox
days of
controller.
real training in a traditional tank took these gamers just 4 hours. But most importantly of all, it's just safer. While we all had fun driving around these giant machines for the day, war isn't fun. It's serious business with real human lives at stake. And
Yeah.
tools like this, controlling a drone tank like you would a video game, oh, it helps keep human lives out of the line of fire when people are forced to engage in any form of necessary conflict.
Thanks
Yeah.
for that, Goomba. Very well said. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our long day of shooting tanks has come to a close. I gotta ask, what did we all learn here today? Starting with Drake, go for it.
I learned that we all need to hang out more often if we're gonna be doing this. I learned that I like tanks far too much. Far too much. This is an
He was
absolute
slowly
pleasure. I'm
becoming
so thankful
Rico.
you brought me out here for this, man. I learned that actually aiming a tank is way harder than I thought it would be, and that it is in a video game. I learned to drive.
He learned how to drive.
Lee, break it down for us. What is it?
I learned that World of Tanks is an excellent video game that you should go download right now. The link is in the description.
That's true. Hashtag Spawn. So thank you so much to World of Tanks. Thank you to DriveTanks.com. But most importantly, thank you to you guys.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Thank you for not just coming in today, but also for 13 years. Of
course.
No, not the emotional goodbye,
How about we
please.
do this again, not for content?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for real.
Make it a little yearly thing.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we can successfully say that World of Tanks has gotten itself a reality check. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, this is heartwarming. Alright, so that's gonna be the video, guys. Obviously, I like this video. I really do enjoy this video. Really, I do. But anyways, make sure you like the video so I know you guys enjoy. I mean, you gotta enjoy this one. It's literal tanks. Like, who doesn't like tanks? But subscribe. I mean, make sure you know, like, leave a comment below what you guys think about this video. Would you want to ride a tank? Would you be overwhelmed about a tank? And, or, you know, like, or if you guys are interested, do you want me to react to that Five Nights at Freddy's live action one that you want me to see? Because they did do a FNAF episode, and that one stays the top of my favorite Game Labs episode. And subscribe! We're trying to upload daily. This is One Gimmick 4, signing off.